Hello, Tyler1915 here. Sorry for the late upload, but quick update. Jesse, aka McJuggernuggets, is doing well. He only had, I'm not going to explain what he had. I'll have a link down in the description to the video of his update if anybody's interested. He is doing well. Thank goodness for that. And now, on to today's video. I wanted to talk about someone today who is very special to my heart. She was my best friend in this whole world. She is my grandmother, Roberta. Here's a picture of her back in the late 1920s, early 1930s. She was born in 1915 in Delta, Millard, Utah. Like I said in my introduction video, I was born in 1987. My mother, I'm not going to go in too detailed about my parents, but my mother was a late in life baby. That's why my cousins are all so much older than me. That's why my grandmother was a little older. Anyway, and this is a photograph of her and me as a child. And if I can zoom in, I talked about in my previous videos that I had been born with a cleft lip and palate. And that's what I looked like. And that is her. She was one of the most important people in my life. She was there for me through everything. I lost her when I was 12. I remember the day like it was yesterday. It was a Monday in 1999. I was up getting ready for school. I was up getting ready for school. She was already sick by then. She had been in a hospital bed for quite some time. I got up, got ready for school. And the bus had just arrived, and I remember begging my mother, please don't let me go to school. Please don't make me go to school. And she finally said, okay, you don't need to go. She waved the bus on. And then we went up to the airport to pick up my aunt. And then we went to eat. Then right before we made it to the middle of the intersection, my mother was on the phone with my dad. My dad had said she was gone. She was the most important person I've ever had in my life, besides my parents. She was always there for me throughout my surgeries. Always there when I needed her. And when I lost her, it was very devastating. Sorry. She was always there to call when I needed her. I remember one surgery I had, the surgery I mentioned when I had my bone graft. I remember calling her that day after I woke. I remember calling her that day after the surgery when I was in my hospital room. And she was always there to talk when I needed her. She was like my best friend growing up. One of my fondest memories were traveling from California to Provo, where she lived. It was a long drive. A funny story about traveling. You know, the orange construction cones, not the triangle ones, the big round drum type ones. My sister told me she always used to try and tell me scary stories. She told me a scary story about them when we were going through Nevada. During the tunnels, they'd be doing construction. She'd tell me these things. She'd tell me a story about, I know dirt devils are these tornadoes, but she made up a story about these sand blobs that were called dirt devils. And they'd hide under these construction cones. And she always said, Tyler, don't put your hand out the window, or anything like that, because they travel with lightning speed, she'd tell me. And they'd attach to the bottom of your car, and if you put your hand out the window, they'd reach up and snatch you and pull you underneath you. Ooh, that used to scare me to death. But, anyway, back to my grandmother. She meant the world to me. And I hope she still knows how much I love her and how much she means to me. And I'll show these two pictures of her one more time. I thought she was very beautiful, and I still do. Sorry, dropped one. Okay, I'm back. And here's the other one of her holding me. This was November of '87. No, this was October, I'm sorry. A couple days after I was released from the hospital. I'm sure a lot of you by now, I only have 5 subscribers. And at least there's someone out there who's interested. And I'm sure by now, if you've checked anything into me, you probably realized I was born October 17th. So this is about a week after I was released from the hospital. I'll zoom in on it and so you can get a closer look at me. But yeah, that's what I look like. That's who she was. She was very important. She had always been there for me. And luckily, I still have another grandmother still alive. I need to ask her if I can talk about her, but I need to get her permission first. But my grandmother, Roberta, I know would have supported me in my decision to become a YouTuber. And I know she would have given me her full blessing. So, I want to thank you for listening. Everyone today, if you enjoyed this video, give it a like. And if you've watched my other videos and you've enjoyed them, subscribe if you've enjoyed and you find me interesting. Anyway, have a good evening. Thanks for listening.